Rich Rising! It's early as fuck o'clock! So, I'm really grasping what this Mercury Retrograde was really all about. It ended on the 15th, but it's still in shadow. So, I made this reel for Mercury Retrograde. It was a clip from I Heart Huckabees, and the dude keeps saying, it's Jude Law in the clip, he keeps saying over and over and over, how am I not myself? How am I not myself? I think his name is Brad in the movie. Anyway, how am I not myself? And it's really the question that's been going on. Like, we obviously can tell when we are or are not in ourselves. We're not in our highest light. We're not feeling happy. We're not feeling joy. We're feeling like the things that we love have a little bit less shininess to them. We're not as attracted to the things that make us feel creative and sparky. Okay, so how am I not myself? We understand that we think we're operating in our own true light, whatever that is, but we're often not seeing ourselves very clearly, right? So what if it's not about turning the problem over and over and over and over and over and over and kicking it and punching it and trying to fix it and force it? What if it's not about any of that? What if it's literally about how we see ourselves philosophically? Are we winners? Or are we winners to a point and keep having walls pop up? Are we finding ourselves repeating the same stories? Perhaps we need to redefine and how we look at ourselves. Does that make sense? How are we not ourselves? How can we know ourselves better from an outsider's standpoint and start to see our capabilities in a new light? How can we bend our consciousness to retell our story? Think about water. Bruce Lee, famous quote, be like water. Okay, but what about water? He wasn't not talking about water damage. Have you ever thought about how water, when it gets out of its container, goes everywhere, it has no boundaries? It is just all up in everything, right? If we put ourselves in containers, we're not allowed to color outside of the lines. We're not allowed to seep into other areas of life. We're not allowed to explore. We put these sanctions on ourselves. So this concept, the self-concept, is very rigid. We think certain things about ourselves. What if we just took it, like I said, a step back and redefined our limitations? What it is we're capable of in our own minds. The thoughts that we think can be reprogrammed. So why not pick new ones? Well, often, we come up against things that are unknown and we can't quantify, we can't understand what's about to happen or what is happening because it's a new scenario. That's totally okay. However, what's not the right move always is to try to redefine it from something in the past, because oftentimes our past is traumatic. So we're judging things in the darkest of lights right off the bat, and we're complicating things for ourselves. So that's what this period is teaching us. It's like, is there a way we can turn these problems over in our mind without turning the problem over in our mind? More like looking at ourselves in the way we're capable, or changing our capabilities in our mind, and then thus being open to new possibilities. So think about that. So anyway, I love you guys. I'm doing sliding scale for the moment, so schedule a reading with me. I have a booking link in my bio, but right now the easiest thing to do is to get a hold of me directly, and I'll put you on my calendar, especially if you're seeing this in real life, real time. Anyway, I love you guys. maybe I'll post a calendar in the story so you can book through the calendar if you want to. So, yeah, I want to talk to you guys. I want to really get into what's bothering you right now. I want to be able to help you get into some of these spaces in your mind and maybe expand them. And yeah, I think there's some deep work to do. So in the interest of authenticity and compassion towards yourself, please book a reading. Let's get somewhere this year, this coming year, and not replay the same old, same old. Aren't you sick of it? Anyway, let's kick some ass. It's Sunday. Woo!